No, I don't believe in the devil. I know the devil. Right? There's a difference. How do you believe in something? No, I don't believe in nothing. Do you know what I mean? To believe something is to believe is right. You haven't. Where's your factual evidence? You believe in something. I'm dealing with facts. I believe in a. I know, not believe. I know there's a devil. Right? But then I also know like there's got to be a counterbalance to what that devil is. So you know what I mean, the goodness or the evil is whatever one that you pay attention to. Is whatever one that you keep on constantly thinking about. Because what you think about, you bring about. I'm a big believer in that. I'm a not big believer. I'm a big knower of that. Whatever you think about, you bring about. You know what I mean? So I do know of a devil, right? And sometimes I can be a devil. To other people, I could be the devil to certain people, right? To other people, I could be an angel, like that, right? So the perception that is given out to people, some could have a good perception of you, some could have a bad perception about you. Some would say like you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Some would say you're the most horriblest person since Hitler. It's whatever energy that you give, and that's what you will attract. And the things that you don't give the energy to, that's you will repel it. And I know this. I'm living testimony of this. So because I've done that right throughout my life, knowing that I can attract and repel, even when things are at its worst, I'm saying everything's great.
Do you believe in outer things like jinns or ghosts or anything like that?
Of course. Well, you see, here it is this. It's like when you are spiritually aligned, yeah, you know that there are such things as jinns and as ghosts, right? And science is improving constantly every day to prove that these things actually exist. Do you know what I mean? So I do believe in know of jinns and ghosts. And people say, well, how can you prove it? There's no such thing as ghosts. And I'm saying maybe for you there's no such thing as ghosts, right? So you got to think like if you put these things out to energy, right? And as we know, the science teaches us that energy cannot be destroyed, neither created, right? So us as human beings, we're energy. When you die, where does that energy go to? Because the energy can't be destroyed or created. So where does it go to? You know what I mean? So it goes back to its source. The source is the universe, right? But then I believe like there is a source outside of the universe or outside of time and space and matter that is the Most High that controls all of these things. And people don't have to agree with me, but that's what I feel, not even believe. That's what I know. And in time, with the correlation with science and biology, we get to see these things all the time.
Wow, that was quite deep.
I know. And you just thought I was going to come here and just talk about boxing and how great someone's left hook was, but no, it's like, bro, everything pertains to energy, right?
Yeah.
And the more gratitude, there is an art in gratitude. This is why I know that your show or anything that you do, Sean, I'm not saying it because I'm here, is going to be successful. Do you know why? Because you come from that of a grateful standpoint. You know what I mean? You show appreciation. How much you talking to Spencer Fearon? How much you talking to I'm talking to this guy, right? And this is how you're getting all these guys on your show, right? Reason being, because people can feel that, right, this guy's actually grateful. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm doing you a favor to come on my show and blah, blah. And by the way, I'm going to pay you. And no. It's when you can feel that energy of gratitude, because the more gratitude that you express is the more abundance that you'll experience. So when you do that, you are walking abundant. Why are you walking abundant? Because you're grateful. You know what I mean?
Respect, bro. Respect. Right. Well, this show is all about my guest. Anyway, so I'm grateful to have you in the studios, and I'm grateful of your opinions as well, because one of my favorite sports is boxing. I love boxing. I love it because it's the speed, balance, endurance. It teaches you so much about yourself, and if you don't move in that ring, you're gonna get your head taken off. Do you know what I mean? And I think sometimes that relates a lot to life. You know what I mean? You got to keep moving, and you know certain people have no respect or walk around with negative energy, but boxing teaches you a lot of discipline. And so in this sport, I want to ask you, because you're really qualified to speak on all of these topics. You absolutely, because you've had some great fights. I've seen a few of your fights as well, between 1997, etc. But first of all, I want to ask your opinion. We've got a massive fight coming on. There's a clash of two heavyweights coming up on September the 21st, and we got AJ versus Triple D. They've had a little altercation in the sort of Gloves Are Off. Was it Gloves Are Off? That little show?
It was Adi Oladipo, sorry, who was sat in the middle, and you had Frank Warren on one side and
Yes.
Eddie Hearn on the other side, and the two fighters. And I'm enjoying Daniel Dubois actually coming out of himself, because you could see like he's a little bit reclusive. You could see he's a little bit to himself, a little bit timid, and you know what I mean, he's that way inclined. But I'm enjoying the fact that he's actually coming out of himself, and that's nice to see. You know, that he is coming out of himself. But then Anthony Joshua he not like he's reinvented himself, but I think Anthony Joshua's kind of found himself again. He's found himself to say like, you know what, I'm not taking on nonsense from anybody. And so it's gonna be for a good fight as long as it lasts.
How important is the build up to the fight?
It's the most important thing, because it's like this weekend, right? We've got Derek Chisora versus Joe Joyce, right? And I'm telling anybody, make sure you get this on the short, Sean, right? Right, because this is like, take a seat, and I'm with my guy Sean Land. Right? I'm letting you know this now. This weekend is going to be a barn burner. It's going to be a barn burner because you've got Joe Joyce and Derek Chisora, and people looking at this fight like this fight ain't meaning nothing on paper, because they're seeing one guy who's well past peak and another guy who's got knocked out twice by Zhang. So you're thinking, right, I'm telling you now, two old war horses make for a good fight. Forget about any media savvy or how boring they were on their head-to-head or anything else like this. I'm telling you this now. Reason being, because that's all that these men know to do. And Derek Chisora doesn't bottle it from anyone. And Joe Joyce, even though sometimes he fights on the back foot, he always he fights aggressively. And he throws a lot of punches. It's going to be a very, very entertaining fight. And I'm so looking forward to it. So I've got to say a massive big up to Queensbury for putting this on. And like Riyadh Season doing great stuff.
Absolutely. Joe Joyce, like at one stage, I thought he was gonna be world champion. The way he was, he just like walked through everything. The guy could take every single punch. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, he fought sort of Zhang, and poof, it was a bit of a shock.
The easiest thing, Sean, is to look at this, right? That water can erode rock, right? And I never like when you hear, oh, well, this guy's so tough. He's got a granite chin. You see, because you're going to keep on taking shots. And I'm telling you, you're getting shots from big guys who are 210 up to 240, 250 in pounds. That's big 19 stone, 20 stone guys flying at you. It's going to take its toll eventually, right? That's what happens. It's going to take its toll eventually on you. And when it takes its toll, that's when you start getting knocked out. I like to hear when guys go, oh, well, this guy's got a good chin. That's nice. But you know what? On top of that, he's got a really good defense and he's got really, really good boxing ability, right? And we saw this, right, with some of the greats who were kind of reliant on the fact that they were so uber gifted that they could do magical things, like Roy Jones Jr. Yeah. Roy Jones Jr. could do magical things, right? Magical things. I remember the night, was it June 9th or, no, sorry, March 9th, when he beat Andy Ruiz to become the WBA heavyweight champion, right? 2003. I was in Miami with myself, David Hay, Gary Logan, and Adam Booth. We were out there because David Hay was going to be fighting them, so we went out there for a training camp out there. And I remember watching that fight in a bar on Ocean Drive, and it was incredible what I witnessed. It was like, wow, this is crazy. But when you're relying on, not saying that Roy Jones don't know the fundamentals, he does, but he was supremely gifted. He had fundamentals, but he was a speedster. But when you start slowing up a bit, you can get timed, you can get hit, you can get hurt, right? But for many years, we never saw Roy Jones get hit. So for years and years and years, we never saw Roy Jones get hit. Then all of a sudden, you see him get hit in his fight against Antonio Tarver. He gets hit and he gets knocked out,
Boom.
right? So we're looking at that now. We're saying,